नमस्ते भोगा महोदय।
नमस्ते अरुण महोदय, स्वागतम।
स्वागतम।
प्रभातम।
प्रभातम।
प्रभातम। Yeah, we'll start.
यस। नमस्ते भोगा महोदय।
नमस्ते अरुण महोदय, स्वागतम।
स्वागतम।
प्रभातम।
प्रभातम।
Can you hear me?
Yes, Bagaji.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
विनायक नमस्तुभ्यं सततं मोदकप्रिय निर्विघ्नं कुरु नो देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामः सिद्धिर्भवतु नो सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुमरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचरविनाशकरं नमामि। श्रीरघुराम चारुतुलसीदलधाम शमक्षमादिशृङ्गारगुणाभिराम त्रिजगन्नुतशौर्यरमाललाम दुर्वारुकबन्धराक्षसविराम जगज्जनकल्मषार्णवोत्तारकनाम भद्रगिरिदाशरथी करुणापयोनिधि। आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम्। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनूमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। Aditana Panchangam, last day of November, and also last tithi of Kartika Masa. Krodhinama Samvatsare Dakshinayane Shradrato Kartika Mase Krishna Pakshe Amavasya Tithihi till just after midnight 1:20 a.m. Sthiravasaraha Anuradha Nakshatram till about 3:54 a.m. followed by Jyeshtha Nakshatram. Sukarma Yoga till almost 6:04 early morning followed by Dhruti Yoga. Chatushpadakaranam till noon, a little after noon, 12:44. Then Nagavakaranam till midnight, 1:20, followed by Kimstugna Karanam. Sarvebhyaha Suprabhatam. Last time we studied two things. One is that a king or anybody should not be left for the final rituals without their primary heir, son or whoever. Then also we studied that there is a technology that they used to use, droni, Taila droni. That's how they would preserve the body till all the required people arrive there. Today there is another great, this is another great sarga, Arajaka Duravastha Varnanam. So we'll study about that. Atha सप्तषष्टितमः सर्गः
अथ सप्तषष्टितमः सर्गः
अराजकदुरावस्थावर्णनम्
अराजकदुरावस्थावर्णनम् आक्रान्दितनिरानन्दा
सहस्रकण्ठजनाकुलाः अयोध्यायाम् अवतता साव्यतीयाय शर्वरी
सा व्यतीयाय शर्वरी.
So arajaka duravastha, the bad situation or bad state of arajaka, of without a king. And as I was studying the whole thing, toward the end we will realize it is not only when there is no king, it also means when there is no capable king. How will that state be? Is what the all scholars will be sharing with Vasishtha to carry on with the next in line to be appointed. So akrandita nirananda sharvari. So the whole thing is sa sharvari, that night. How was that night? Various adjectives to it. Sa sharvari vyatitaya. That night had to pass by to come to the early morning. Because that is how last sarga ended. That the whole thing happened through the night and morning sunrise came up. So that night was akrandita nirananda. It was unhappy night because of akrandanam. Several people, everybody crying, everybody being anxious, what next, what will happen and all. Rama is also not here, other children also not here. So akrandita, with anxiety, with crying, with lamentations. Akrandita nirananda, sasra kantha janakula. This was used in the last sarga also. This were asra kantha janakula. People crying with the one description of it is people crying with the asru, the tears coming all the way till kantha. Janakula, with people filled. Everybody was crying. That's what it means. Ayodhyayam avatata. In Ayodhya, that night, avatata was sort of spreading. That night was spreading. Means sunrise was not happening sooner. Ayodhyayam sa sharvari sasrakantha janakula akrandita nirananda sharvari vyatiyaya. It was waiting to pass by. Now it somehow passed by. So vyatitayam tu sharvaryam.
Yatitayam tu sharvaryam.
Adityasyodaye tataha.
Adityasya udaye tataha.
Sametya rajakartaraha.
Sametya rajakartaraha.
Sabhamiyurdvijatayaha.
Sabhamiryudvijataya.
So vyatitayam, after that night passed away, that means, and sharvaryam vyatitayam, in the passing away of the night, adityasya udaye tataha, and then in the rise of the aditya, of the sun, rajakartaraha sametya, all the staff or all the people who are supposed to perform these last rites. The two for royal people, not ordinary ones. So those are rajakartaraha. Rajakartaraha sametya, they all came together. And sabham dvijatayaha, they are all dvijatayaha, the twice born. So, which means they're all knowledgeable, learned scholars, etc. And all of them, sabham iyuhu, they all went to a sabha. That means they all came for a meeting. How do we handle this, or what to do next, to express their various opinions? So sabha, they've come for a baitak, for a meeting. maarkaNDeyoth moudgalya.
मार्कण्डेयोऽथ मौद्गल्यः.
Vamadevascha kashyapah.
वामदेवश्च काश्यपः.
Katyayano gautamascha.
कात्यायनो गौतमश्च.
Jaabaalischa mahayashaha.
जाबालिश्च महायशाः.
Ete dvija samatyaihi. Sahamatyaihi.
एते द्विजाः समात्यैः
Prithagvacham
पृथग्वाचमुदीरयन्.
Vasishtamevabhimukhas.
वसिष्ठमेवाभिमुखास्.
Sreshtam Raja Purohitam.
श्रेष्ठं राजपुरोहितम्.
So these name of these great rishis, who are the board of advisors for Dasharatha, and their state, their kingdom, were also referred once back before. Early on, during the Balakanda, during the wedding of Rama, that time also all these names of these were referred once by Valmiki ji. And same thing is again referring them. So we know these are his board of advisors are such great rishis. maarkaNDeya, moudgalya, Vamadeva, kashypa, Katyayana, Gautama, jaabaali, such highly reputed mahayashaha, glorious people. Ete dvijaha, all these scholars, Vasishtham eva abhimukhaha. All of them were facing Vasishtha and directly telling him, because all of them are of the same opinion. So they were directly addressing Vasishtham. Vasishtham eva abhimukhaha. And what kind of Vasishtha? Sreshtham Rajapurohitam. He is the royal well-wisher. Purohita is actually a well-wisher, right? Purasya hitam ichhati or karoti. Purasya hitam yasya saha purohitaha. Welfare of the state is the only aim of one who is called Purohita. So, and that to Raja Purohitam, so of the royal one. Raja Purohitam, Sreshtham, Vasishtham, Abhimukhaha, Eti Dvijaha, Saha Amatyaihi, along with their secretaries and ministers of the state. Pruthak Vacham Udirayan. Each one were differently telling one by one Vacham, their statements, their Udirayan. They have presented their statements. Atita Sharvari Dukkham.
Atita Sharvari Dukham.
Yano Varsha Shatopama.
Yano Varsha Satopama.
Asmin Panchatvam Apanne.
Asmin Panchatvam Apanne.
Putra Shokena Parthive.
Putra Shoken Parthive.
So Valmiki said Pruthak Vacham Udirayan. Each one said separately their own statements. He didn't quote who said what. So all of these statements are, let's imagine each person, each of those rishis and then each of the amatyas were saying one shloka each, something like that. So one of them started saying, Atita Sharvari, the night that passed away, Dukkham was very sorrowful. Yano Varsha Shatopama, and that Sharvari, Ya Sharvari Atita, Sa Naha, for us, Varsha Shata Upama. It was like 100 years, hundreds of years long. That night, to overcome that night, to see the sunrise, was so difficult for all of them that it seemed like 100 years. Varsha Shata Upama. And he was saying, Asmin Panchatvam Apanne, especially because that night where Panchatvam is the 5 elements of the body going back into the 5 huge elements, Pancha Mahabhutaha, dissolving into them, the Panchabhutas from our body is called Panchatvam, which means essentially body, dead body. So Panchatvam Apanne, in the arrival of the death, Putra Shokena Parthive, because of the worry and the tragedy that the king went through of the being away from his son, of the departure of son to forests. So Putra Shokena Parthive Panchatvam Apanne Asmin Ya Sharvari Naha Varsha Satopama Dukkham. And why is it further? Swargatascha Maharajaha.
Swargatascha Maharajaha.
Ramascharanyamashritah.
Ramascharanyamashritah.
Lakshmanaschapi Tejasvi.
Lakshmanaschapi Tejasvi.
Ramenaiva Gatassaha.
Ramenaiva Gatassaha.
Ubhau Bharata Shatrughnav.
Ubhau Bharata Shatrughnav.
Kekayeshu Parantapau.
Ekayeshu Parantapau.
Pure Rajagrihe Ramye
पुरे राजगृहे रम्ये
Matamaha Niveshane.
मातामह निवेशने.
Let's read the next one also. Ikshvakunamihadhyaiva
इक्ष्वाकूणामिहाद्यैव
Kaschid Raja Vidhiyatam
कच्चित् राजा विधीयताम्.
Arajakam Hino
अराजक
Rashram
अराजकं हि नो राष्ट्रं
Na Vinasham Avapnuyat.
न विनाशम् अवाप्नुयात्.
So somebody else said this big statement. So he started with saying Maharajaha Svargataha. That means Maharaja went away to or left for Svarga. Svargataha. Swaha is Svarlokaha. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha. We say, right? Each one is one loka. Swaha is Swarlokaha. Swaha Pratigataha Svargataha. Svargataha Maharajaha. Ramaha cha Aranyam Ashritaha. Rama also went to start living in Aranya. Ashritaha. He took the abode of Aranya. Lakshmanascha Tejasvi Api Ramenaiva Saha Gataha. The other powerful fellow was Lakshmana, and he also took the path of Rama, and he went with him. Ubhau Bharata Shatrughnau Parantapau. The other two, very active, strong, able princes were Bharata and Shatrughna. Those two also, both of them, Kekayeshu, in the Kekaya Rajya. In the Kekayeshu, Pure, in the city of the Kekayas, Rajagrihe, Ramye, Matamaha Niveshane. Those two went to the Matamaha, to their grandfather, Kekayi's father, to his home. They went for summer vacation. Like we used to go, as I said, right, in my childhood, we were in Warangal. All our families were from the Vizag district. So every summer, we would go to our grandparents, Matamaha, to my mother's father's Agraharam, to the village. Similarly, Bharata and Shatrughna went to their Matamaha's home and enjoying their Ramye Matamaha Niveshane, Rajagrihe, Pure, Ubhau Bharata Shatrughnau, Parantapau, Kekayeshu. So now all four sons are away. Raja himself is away. So somebody who is talking this is suggesting Ikshvakunam, of the Ikshvakus, find somebody. Iha, now, Adyaiva, today itself, please find somebody. Ikshvakunam kaschid raja vidhiyatam. Please find somebody from the Ikshvakus and let him be appointed as Raja. Why? Arajakam hino rashtram na vinasham avapnuyat. Because without a king, Arajakam, Raja Rajyam karoti, then Rajakam. If there is no Raja, Raja Rajyam na karoti, Arajakam. Arajakam hi naha, for us, Rashtram. A nation without a Rashtra, without a Raja. Vinasham avapnuyat, will end into ruin, will end into disaster. So let that situation, let Ayodhya, Koshala Rajya not end into that situation. So, Kaschit Raja Vidhiyatam. Let somebody be put, at least as a face, figurative person. Anyway, all the staff, Amatyas and all are there. They can rule it till they find the next able person. But please find somebody and appoint. And now onwards, this is Narajake, Narajake. Every shloka is a lesson, is a text, academic lesson. If somebody can make a good lesson of this, make a good write-up of this, I would be so happy. Shloka 9 onwards till almost 37 is what happens in a state or a kingless situation. Or we can also take it as, if you see any situation like this, even if there is somebody called a king, is not a capable king. And we have seen that in Bharat also for so many years, versus now the difference, 10 plus years that we have seen. When Arajakam versus Rajakam state. Rajakam Rashtram, versus Arajakam Rashram. So here, Narajake Janapade
नाराज
नाराजके जनपदे
Vidyunmali Mahasvanaha
विद्युन्माली महास्वनः
Abhivarshati Parjanyah
अभिवर्षति पर्जन्यः
Mahim Divyena Varina.
महीं दिव्येन वारिणा.
So first thing is starting about the nature itself. If you don't have the right king, even the nature will not cooperate. Because he doesn't understand sustainability, he doesn't understand how to take care of the nature, etc. So everybody will be exploiting the nature, and so nature also will not cooperate. First thing that will happen if you don't have right king and the right ruler, Narajake Janapade, Vidyunmali Mahasvanaha. Vidyunmali, Vidyut eva mala yasyaha sa Vidyunmali. With multiple lightnings, like a garland, one after another, so many forming around, is Vidyunmali. Mahasvanaha, with roaring thunderous thunderstorms. Abhivarshati Parjanyaha. That means it can be either a famine or over floods, etc. In this case, they are starting with saying, Mahim divyena varina abhivarshati parjanyaha. Mahim is earth. The earth will be flooded with loud thunderstorms, with a garland of lightnings, and heavy waters will be flooding, and the earth will be, what do you say, will be disaster, will be into calamities. Narajake Janapade
नाराजके जनपदे
Bijamushtihi Prakiryate.
बीजमुष्टि प्रकीर्त्यते
Narajake Pituh Putraha
नाराजके पितुः पुत्रः
Bharyava Vartate Vashe.
भार्या वा वर्तते वशे.
So again, two statements are made. Probably two people said. One said, Narajake Janapade Bijamushtihi Prakiryate. You will not even have handful of grains, seeds. Bijam is especially seeds. Bijamushtihi Prakiryate. You cannot even have handful of grains to throw on the ground and start cultivating next farm. That will happen. And then Narajake, without a good king in that Arajaka, Pituhu Putraha, of the father, Pituhu is of the father, Shashti Vibhakti. Pituhu Putraha Vashe na Vartate. Son will not be under the control of father. That means children will not listen to parents. If there is disciplined king and everybody is listening to them, then children also will start listening to their father, with their head of the family. But if the country itself is in such a state that there is no king, so nobody is listening, everybody is on their own, enjoying on their own, then in fact that culture will come to the family also, and sons or children also will not be obedient and listening to their parents. Not only that, bharya va vartate vashe. Even the wife will not be, cooperative. And that is elaborated further in the next one. Arajake dhanam nasti.
अराजके धनं नास्ति
Nasti bharyapyarajake.
नास्ति भार्याप्यराजके
Idam atyahitam chanyat.
इदमत्याहितं चान्यत्
Kuta satyamarajake.
कुतः सत्यमराजके.
Somebody else said this. Now he's saying, Arajake, in that Arajaka period, dhanam nasti, there won't be proper wealth generated, and the treasuries will get drained out. Arajake dhanam nasti, and Arajake bharya api nasti. So this bharya is to be sort of that half, that quarter has to be anvaya for the previous shlokartha, where he said Pituhu Putraha Bharyava Vartate Vashe. Not only Bharya Vashe Vartate, Bharya Api Nasti. The wife also will not claim to be wife. Chalo, we are living together. All these dirty, not dirty, but I will say all these unwanted trends will start showing up when you don't have a visionary ruler at the helm of the state. And so bharya api na vartate. There won't be any more spouse ones. Anybody can claim to be a spouse for tax purposes and live-in relationships, no compulsions, no cultured family setup and all. So bharya api nasti. Previously he said bharya vartate, vashe na vartate. Here he said bharya api nasti. And idam atyahitam cha. With this extreme status. Anyat kutaha satyam arajake. If all these things are going to happen like this, if there is no family values, if there is no health values, if there is no wealth values, if there is no natural sustainability, then where is satyam? Where is reality? There won't be any more reality. Everything is up to people to do as they like. And so narajake janapade
Narajake janapade
कारयन्ति सभां नराः
कारयन्ति sabham naraha
उद्यानानि च रम्याणि
udyanani च रम्याणि
हृष्टाः
हर्षा
पुण्यगृहाणि च.
पुण्यग्रहाणि च.
So somebody else is saying, Narajake Janapade, Naraha Sabham Nakarayanti. Or Arajake Janapade, Naraha Sabham Nakarayanti. In such stateless or kingless state, or in a stateless state, people, see, normally, anywhere there is a body as in body of people, a community of people, any decision is made by all of them coming together, discussing, having a meeting, discussing, and finally coming to a conclusion and going for an action, a definitive action. In such situations, in these situations where there is no king or in a stateless situation, people don't come together to discuss and make decisions. Naraha Sabham Nakarayanti. People don't come for meetings. Everybody will do whatever they like. For example, as simple as HOA. If there is no HOA, at least in India, here HOA is different. But in India, HOA is landowners only. They all come together and discuss. If there is no decision, whoever makes, I put my garbage outside here. I put I park my vehicle here and all. Then that is Arajakam. So, in Arajakam, people don't come together. In Rajakam, people come together, make decisions, and ensure those decisions are implemented and followed. So, Sabham Naraha Nakarayanti. Not only that, Hrishtaha, you won't find happy people. Normally, Udyanani, Ramyani, Udyanani, Punyagrihani cha. In a properly run state, the gardens, the parks and homes also look punyagrihani. Homes also will look like sacred homes, divine homes, happy homes, delighted homes. Similarly, gardens will look, beautiful, heart or pleasing, pleasant places for good people, cultured people to come there and spend good time there. In Arajaka, nobody will go to gardens because gardens themselves will not be maintained, and so nobody will go there. And even if people go, only unwanted people will go and do unwanted things there. So Udyanani cha Ramyani, Hrishtaha Punyagrihani cha na bhavanti iti. Narajake Janapade
Narajake janapade
Yajnashila Dvijatayaha
Yagnashila Dvijatayah
Satranyanvasate Dantaha
Satrani anvansate danta
Brahmana Samshrita Vrataha.
Brahmana Sanshita Vrataha.
So, Narajake Janapade, in the normal state if we have a good king, then Vijatayaha, the twice born or the learned scholars, they are yajnashilaha. Their activity is always to perform yajnas. Yajna as a karma or yajna as a in the spirit. The spirit of yajna is for the world, for the benefit of world. So scholars are always, educated people are always thinking of or expected to think and perform activities for the bigger cause of the world, for others. That is yajna. Tapas is for your own self, to increase your talents, your skills, your abilities, your potential is tapas. Once you obtain the talent, then it is to do yajna. Yajna is for the welfare of the world, for the benefit of the bigger world. So yajnashila, they are always thinking of betterment of the world, of the others, innovating new things for the world, solving problems of the world, solving diseases, solving family counseling, solving political issues, giving new education, free education. All of this is the Dvijataya's traits, or Dvijataya's not traits, Dvijataya's characteristics. Dvijatayaha will be typically Yajnashila like that. But they, Satrani Anvasate, na Satrani Anvasate, they don't go and perform the Satras. Satras is, where long-term projects or Satras. Sessioned projects, there are, which runs into multiple sessions, whether it is Purana Kathanam or teaching classes or university experimentation projects or other long negotiating activities, etc. All of these are Satrani. Satrani Anvasate, and even though they are supposed to be Dantaha. Why are these people selected? Because they are Dantaha. Dantaha means Damam Yesham, Tesham Danta, Te Dantaha. One who has self-restraint on his desires, on his emotions, is Dantaha. Dantaha, Brahmanaha, Samshrita Vrataha, those who have taken up Samshrayam, is, those who went to the resort of, or went to the, those who took up Vrataha, or vow, or a resolution. They take up some vratam and continue. And their vratas are always for the welfare of the world. So Samshrita vrataha brahmanaha dantaha yajnashilaha dvijatayaha arajake janapade satrani na anvasate. That is the anvaya of that sentence. So they don't perform the satyasa, these satrani anymore, because they don't see the purpose, or they also become adanta. They lose their discipline, their regular anushtanam and all, and they slowly start relaxing their strict, tight schedules. Narajake janapade mahayajneshu yajvanaha brahmana vasu sampannaha visrujantyapta dakshinaha. So similarly, in such situations, yajvanaha is those who perform yajnas are yajvanaha. It's in Bahuvachanam. One who performs yajna is yajvanaha. So yajvanaha mahayajneshu visrujanti. Even if they perform the mahayajnas, in that apta dakshinaha, those who want to give back, is apta dakshina. Essentially abundant gifts or whatever. When you perform a big yajna, then you are inviting, lots of people as guests and invitees to those yajnas. And anyone who attends those yajna, you will never let them go free hand, meaning empty-handed. You give them some gifts back. And we saw that Dasharatha and all performing in those Putra Kameshti Yajna, etc. where millions of people have come to Ayodhya from all over the world, and all of them were not only given gifts when they were leaving, but they were given this, served the best food ever, and given the best places to stay, either quarters or cabins or tents, like that, or somebody's guest homes, like that. We saw that, how we arrange camps also and all of that, right, in those Balakanda. Similarly, so Mahayajneshu Yajvanaha Vasu Sampannaha, even if they had, Vasu is resources, Sampannaha, wealthy of resources. That means even if they had lot of resources at hand, they lose the spirit of giving back. Apta dakshinaha visrujanti. They give up, or they don't do it anymore. They don't offer these gifts anymore, because the selfish ideas and all start coming in. And hence you need a king, a good king, so that everybody is selfless and thinking for a bigger cause, working for the bigger cause. Narajake Janapade,
नाराजके जनपदे
Prabhuta Natanartakaha,
प्रभूतनटनर्तकाः
Utsavascha Samajascha,
उत्सवाश्च समाजाश्च
Vardhante Rashtravardhanaha.
वर्धन्ते राष्ट्रवर्धनाः.
This shloka itself is a great paragraph. We can ponder so much about this. So far, what Yajna, Brahmana and all were supposed to do, what they might not end up doing, is what in Arajakam was described. Now the next set of people who are artists, and we know, right, these artists, woke artists, how they set the trends and influence the mindset of the youth, etc. Because artists are the celebrities, they are the popular ones. Yadyadacharati sreshtaha tattadevitaro janaha. So if they are conscious, if they are controlled or not controlled, directed at least, or guided by a strong king, then they won't be woke artists, they will be cultural artists. So in Arajake Janapade, Prabhuta Natanartakaha, Natas are actors, Nartakas are dancers, if we take, or artists as a bigger group. Prabhuta, which means excellent, accomplished artists. They Rashtravardhanaha Samajaha Utsavaha Navardhante. They won't be performing. See, all the artists are supposed to be, they should be performing for two reasons. There are only two purposes. At the Atma level, to increase their Adhyatma level, to elevate them from gross materialistic people into Adhyatma level, into spiritual people. At the second level, or at the second aspect, as an expectation of artists, is they should be Rashtravardhanaha. They should always be performing to build this Rashtra, to make the Rashtra strong. Rashtravardhanaha Prabhuta Natanartakaha. And that's why old days, if you see, anyways, Burrakatha, Harikatha, at least in Telugu we know Burrakatha. I think similarly, Yakshagana, etc. Every region had the artists performing about the history of their region or their king or the state. There was never a mass cheap entertainments. It was always either tell the Purana Katha, which is typically Harikatha, or Rajakatha, which is Burrakatha. Talk about our king, our state, how glorious our state is, how powerful our state is, how rich our state is, how great are our kings. See, the artists were always to build this, to keep up the mood of Rashtra, Rashtravardhanaha, Natanartakaha. And so they would Samajaha, Utsavaha, na Vardhante. These artists will also slowly end up, or slowly relax themselves into becoming, chalo yaar, People are not giving us money now. Why go? Or even if they go, they will become woke guys. Oh, let's copy West now. Let's also wear dresses like West, sing like West, forget our culture, forget our art forms, like that. So that is how they will utsamajaha. They won't be a community of artists. And utsavaha, they won't be performing, celebrating the festivals. In every festival, we should have art forms to render the spirit of that utsava. And these fellows will not be performing them. And all of these utsavaha, samajaha, prabhuta natanatakaha, what is their final aim? Rashtravardhanaha. Their aim should be to build and make the Rashtra strong. Narajake Janapade
नाराजके जनपदे
Siddharthaha Vyavaharinaha
सिद्धार्थव्यवहारिणः
Kathabhiranurajyante
कथाभिः अनुरञ्जन्ते
Kathashilah Kathapriyaihi.
कथाशीलः कथाप्रिये.
Then again, slowly one by one, groups of contributors of a Rashtra are talked about. First one is all these educated, scholarly people. Then artists also contribute to that Rashtra. Then the next one are Siddharthaha Vyavaharinaha. Those who are into affairs of trades, materials, Siddha Arthaha, Artha, to build wealth, to build prosperity, which is essentially tradesmen, businessmen. Businessmen, Vyavaharinaha, they are all into, Vyavahara, right? They are into interactions, into trading, into negotiations, etc. Siddharthaha Vyavaharinaha also, they will also be not performing anymore. That means business economy also will not flourish. And Kathashilaha. Katha, we think, is normally story, but any description, narration, narrative setting, news is all Kathaha. And that's why news story we hear, right, even today. Next story says CNN or whoever, because news is also story. That means narration is Katha. So Kathashilaha, those who are story makers, or that means news makers or news media people, Katha priyaihi na anurajyante. They will also be not impressing, influencing the news-seeking people or media-receiving people. Also will not be enjoying these anymore, because everybody will be relaxed. Everybody will be giving up their regular routine. Narajake Janapade
नाराजके जनपदे
Udyanani Samagataha
उद्यानानि समागताः
Sayanne Kriditum Yanti
सायान्ने क्रीडितुं यान्ति
Kumaryo Hemabhushitaha.
कुमार्यो हेमभूषिताः.
Very, very important one. The next one is common people now. Common people, Narajake Janapade, Udyanani Samagataha. You won't see people, flocking or going into the gardens and all. When do people go to gardens and all? When they know they are secured, when they are well maintained, when there is sufficient security staff there, then you will go there and enjoy, spend good evenings there. That is about youth and, let us say, elderly, as we see in India at least. Then there are young Kumaryaha. Kumaryaha is young girls, meaning girls. So ladies and with their, partners, they go to gardens. But Sayahane, in the evening of the day, toward the end of the day, in the evenings, Kriditum Kumaryaha Hemabhushitaha Kumaryaha Nayanti. In the evenings, girls, boys, all of them come out and they play in gardens, in grounds, playgrounds, or in front of their homes, etc. Especially boys don't care, they go in any dress. But girls, they will come out with Hemabhushitaha, with all golden jewelry and all. Every girl will dress up and come out nicely, go out in the evenings. and they play their own games, etc. When there is a secured state, nation running, then everybody will be gladly displaying their wealth. And in such insecure state, everybody will be scared. Oh my God, if we go out, we don't know where are thieves, who will steal us, who will rob us. And so, Hemabhushitaha Kumariyaha Sayahne Kriditum Nayanti. They won't go. They won't come out fully decorated with jewelry to play because of Arajake Janapade. Narajake Janapade
Rajake Janapate
Vahanaihi Shigragamibihi
Vagnaihi Shikramagamibihi
Nara Niryantyaranyani
Naran Niryantyaranyani
Naribhihi Saha Kaminaha.
Naribihi Saha Kaminaha.
So elderly people don't go to gardens, children and girls don't go out to play. Now the youth, not youth, I will say young, youth, married youth, etc. Naraha, naribhihi, along with their women. Saha kaminaha, those who are romantic guys. In a normal days, they will plan, okay, let's go to, Yellow State. Let's go to Niagara. Let's go to Canada, Cancun beach. Let's go to Florida, right? Normally, if you are happy and if you know the state, everything is secured, then you want to enjoy always. But in insecure state, even this kaminaha naraha naribhihi saha shigragamibihi vahanaihi. Normally, we can fly. But the young romantic couple, they like to drive themselves. They like to go driving themselves, right? They will rent a car if they don't have Tesla, or they will rent a big, whatever, I don't remember the big vehicles, but they will rent a big vehicle and go on it for a nice drive. Even we also see enjoying romantic couples driving, what is it called? Open one is called, what is it? What is that open car called? I forgot.
Convertible.
Huh?
Convertible.
Convertible. Driving convertibles on a California road. Wow, kind of a thing, right? Long road, and you'll be enjoying and singing and loud music in the car and driving. That is how Kaminaha Naraha Naribhihi Saha Shigragamibihi Vahanaihi. Fast moving, fast running, high speed running vehicles. Na niryanti aranyani. They don't go out to these woods for camping. Aranyani is not necessarily forest, but woods where we go out for camping. People go to camp in Yellow State Park or Grand Canyon and all of those woods areas. Aranyani. Aranyani na niryanti. So people won't go out for romantic vacations with their women. Narajake Janapade
Narajake Janapade
Dhanavantah Surakshitaha
Dhanavantah Surakshitaha
Sherate Vivrutadvaraha
Cherate Vivrudvaraha
Krushi Goraksha Jivinaha.
Krishi Goraksha Jivinaha.
I mean, wonderful chapter. I really wish one of us or some of, or more of us today can spend some time in writing, making a write-up and publish it on Medium, wherever, right? Or at least on Facebook or wherever. That so much is thought about how a stateful state versus stateless state is by our Ramayanam gives this lesson about. If we don't, and we can see that America versus, let's say, any of those East Europe and those.
You see, even Chanakya said this, Artasya Murlyam Rajyam. Before he says,
Yes.
essentially what he said is, dharmasya moolam artham, arthasya moolam rajyam. If you want good dharma, artha has to be there. Good artha has to be there. If
Correct.
good artha has to be there, then it has to come from good rajyam.
Good rajyam, good raja, correct.
Without good rajyam, artham is not going to be there. Without good artham, there can be no dharma.
No dharma, correct.
So that is why even in even some of the Ashirvada mantras which we have so much emphasis on Rajyam, Raja, all this dharma related, because only he is the custodian of dharma. He or
Correct,
she
correct.
is the winner.
Correct.
Otherwise, it will go all for a toss.
Correct. That's why even in ending mantras also Raja, Adhiraja,
Yes,
Yapasakya, Raja,
exactly.
and in this also comes, later shloka comes. I know we are going a little slow. Let us see how fast we can cover it. But Vaishravana and all is covered here. Raja is equal to Vaishravana.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Narajake Janapade, Dhanavantaha Surakshitaha. In a normal good state, the wealthy, rich people are Surakshitaha. They are well protected because wealth should be protected. And wealth generating businessmen have to be taken care of. If government supports or gives good contracts to, let's say, Adani or Ambani, etc., we should not be worried. We should be happy because that is what a Raja is supposed to do. Raja should encourage wealth generating businessmen so that they in turn produce more employment, more projects, more work, so that society has enough jobs and all of that. Stupid, woke, leftist communists only will keep cribbing when government is offering more and more contracts to rich people, to able, capable, rich businessmen. So, dhanavantaha surakshitaha, they are to be protected, they are to be taken care of, because they in turn generate wealth, employment, and resources. And so, in Arajake Janapade, these dhanavantaha, which is more of, let us say, trade, wealth generating people. The other kind of businessmen are Krishi Goraksha Jivinaha. Krishi is agriculture or farming, farmers. Goraksha Jivinaha, those who protect and take care of the cattle, cows and all. So Krishi Goraksha Jivinaha Dhanavantaha will be normally Surakshitaha. They will be protected. And so, how is that expressed? The expression of Surakshitaha Dhanavantaha, Surakshitaha Krishi Goraksha Jivinaha is through Vivrutadvaraha Sherate. They sleep with wide open doors. Do you understand this? If you see all doors locked always with electronic thing, Wi-Fi enabled ones and all, that means they are not Surakshitaha. If they are Surakshitaha, they don't even care about whether my door is locked or not, whether my garage door is closed or not. I can easily go because I know nobody will steal, because everybody is content, everybody is happy. Why? Because even if there is nobody, somebody is there to take care of them. The king Raja is there to take care of them. That is the mindset of that rich country, rich nation. In the lack of that, then everybody will be closing doors. So, Surakshitaha Dhanavantaha Krishi Goraksha Jivinaha Vivrutadvaraha. Vivruta is wide open doors. Vivrutadvaraha Sherate, they sleep. Arajake Janapade na Sherate. If in a stateless country, they can't sleep with doors open, is how it is said. Narajake Janapade
नाराजके जनपदे
Baddha Ganta Vishaninaha
बद्धघण्टा विषाणिनः
Atanti Rajamargeshu
अटन्ति राजमार्गेषु
Kunjara Shashtihayanaha.
कुञ्जरा षष्ठिहायना.
Then the next one is, in a culture, how cultured is that state will be known when you have these Baddha Ganta Vishaninaha Kunjaraha. If elephants with nicely big bell around their neck tied, and they are walking along the main footpath, etc. That means then we know that it is a secured cultured state, because that means that temple is from the Raja or from the temple. I'm sorry, that elephant is from the Raja or from the temple. And that means that it is all well protected. It has a nice Mavati on the top of it, and Purohitas and all chanting Vedas, having the procession of the elephant with the god, etc., put on its trunk and all. So, Baddhaganta Vishaninaha Kunjaraha Shashtihayanaha, and he gave a good adjective here. 60-year-old young elephants, because elephants live long. So 60 years elephant means it is in a youth form. So Shashtihayanaha Baddhaganta Vishaninaha Kunjaraha Rajamargeshu Arajake Janapade na atanti. In the highways or in the royal roads, you won't see elephants moving like that. Because if there's a proper king, then they will be taken on procession regularly. And so that will be a nice outlook to see. And in Arajaka, you won't see that. Narajake Janapade
Narajake Janapade
Sharan Satatam Asyatam
Sharan Satatan Asyatam
Shruyate Tala Nirghoshaha
Shruyate Tala Nirghoshaha
Ishvastranam Upasane.
Ishvastranam Upasate
Upasane.
Upasane.
So, I mean, just see the beauty of this chapter. This is not only talking about activities and how does it look if somebody makes a documentary, but also it is telling who all comprise the society, who all comprise a nation, what all kinds of people. We started with Dvijatayaha, then it went to Dhanavantaha, then youth, then people, children, girls, and so on, and even elephants. And now about the warriors, the practicing martial arts people. So Narajake Janapade Sharan, Sharaha is arrow. Sharan Satatam Asyatam. Those who are continuously throwing arrows. That means practicing day in and day out. You have practicing archers. Shruyate, you won't listen. Of the Asyatam is Shashti Bahuvachanam. Of the people, releasing arrows, na shruyate, you won't be able to listen. You won't be listening. What you won't be listening? Tala nirghoshaha. Beautiful technical, but important, and because we should know the culture. I mean, we should know the details, right? So when archers, and we saw this of Rama also in the Balakanda, where when Rama was walking, he said they were wearing the Baddha, got the name, Baddhanguli, Godhanguli Baddha. Godha is the lizard's skin, we thought. Lizard as in not lizard, but big, crocodile kind of thick skin, leather, they will wear as glove. So that when the arrows and all are released, the arrows, feathers, etc., or sometimes the triangle metal in the front of it also might be hurting your knuckles of the knuckle of the thumb, or the fingers of the folded, the four other fingers that hold and fold and hold the arrow or the bow, they will be getting hurt. Not only that, the ja is the thread, the rope or the thread that bends the arrow from where you release this. That will also be hurting the forearm and sometimes even arm. The force with which you pull it back and you release it, it sometimes vibrates and it hurts your forearm. So they wear Godhangalitranaha. They wear leather gloves, that too of a lizard family, covering from Anguli to Kara, all the way to the forearm. They wear that leather one as a protection of their king. And in Mahabharatam, when Virata Parvam, when we read, I was reading the other day, recently, a few months back, there Arjuna, Dharmara, Yudhishthira will be worried. Worried as in, Ayyo, he'll be feeling sorry. Ayyo, Yudhishthira, Ayyo, Arjuna, I never saw your forearms, man, all these days. Arjuna's forearms have a huge, what do you say? What to say? The bobbalu, we say. Bobbalu means huge bulged skin, hard bulged string skin. Meaning, you'll see some balls kind of hardened balls on his forearm, left forearm. Because he practices bow archery so much day in, day out, even when he was 80-year-old and all, that when he was fighting Kurukshetra war also, that it forms so much on his left arm with those boils or bubbles. What is it called in English, if you understand what I'm saying? You understand, right? Those bubbles.
Blisters,
Huh?
Blisters?
Blisters, probably blisters, yeah, blisters kind of a thing.
I think blisters would be more appropriate, yeah.
Blisters, yeah, okay, blisters. So with the blisters on his arm, and so when he goes to Virat Parva as what's his name, Brihannala, he wants to show that he's a woman, or womanish thing, right? Brihannala. So Yudhishthira looks at his hand and says, Arjuna, how hard you have practiced to keep us powerful. He expresses his gratitude. Yudhishthira expresses his gratitude to Arjuna, saying, Arjuna, you've been practicing every day only to keep us all safe. How grateful should I be to you? He says. So, yeah, even after putting those gloves, so much of bubbles, blisters on his hand. So here, Tala nirghoshaha. Tala is this flat glove thing. To that, when this thread, when you release the rope, or what is it called? The rope or thread of the bow, and boom, that when it hits, that sounds, you will hear the sounds. If you are around a school of archers practicing and you are passing by, walking by, you will hear that ghosha. Tala nirghoshaha, it is called. Ishu astranam upasane. Ishu is arrow. In the Ishu astranam of the weapons like Ishu and other ones, you will be hearing all the ghosha. Whether even if, of course, if it is sword fighting there, then you will anyway hear a lot of ghosha of the metal hitting each swords, hitting shields, etc. Even for an archer, you will hear that boom, kind of a omkara kind of a ghosha from the jya, from the thread of the bow. So he's saying, if there is no king, people will relax. Even the army will relax there, and they will also not be doing their drill regularly. And so, talanirghosha ishvastranam sharan satatam asyatam talanirghoshaha nashruyate. And there is a beautiful word used here if you read. Ishvastranam upasane. All these days, I thought upasanam means, first thing that we remember is a religious practice. Sandhya upasana, or, other upasanas. But upasana, Amarakosha says, abhyasaha upasanaha ityamaraha. A dedicated practice, meaning a devotional, no matter what kind of a practice. Sadhana is also sadhana, abhyasaha, upasana, all these are synonyms. Amarakosha says. So these people used to practice it like upasana. And in such upasanas, if there is no arajaka, you won't hear the talanirghosha of those upasanas. Is the this shloka. I had to talk so much about it, but I thought great details to know from this. Narajake Janapade.
न राज्य के जनपदे
vanijo duragaminah
वणिजोदुर्गामिनः
gachanti kshemadhvanam
गच्छन्ति क्षमम् अध्वानं
bahupanya samachitaah.
बहुपर्ण्यसमाचिताः.
Then the next one is vanijah. Vanik is traders. Duragaminaha, not just local traders, but international traders who go from one nation, from India to Arab, from India to China, and still trade, like we hear in Satyanarayana Katha. Right? Satyanarayana Katha, the 3 chapters are given for that Vanik only. Sadhu is his name. And so he goes on a big ship of goods. He goes, sells them, comes back with a lot of gold and all of that. So that's how they used to go. Our tradesmen, our business traders used to go on huge ships with like our what is this, cruises. Such huge ships they used to go by, carrying all the manufactured goods from here, take them for export, trade them there, come back with huge wealth. So such duragaminaha, far distance traveling, or international tradesmen, duragaminaha vanijaha kshemam, safely, in a secured manner, bahupanya samachitaah, those who are seeking and obtaining bahupanyam, covering lot of markets. Panya, vipani, apanam are the words used for markets and stores. So bahupanya samachitaah, going into various markets and trading various goods. They, such vanijaha, kshemam adhvanam nagachanti. They don't end up going into these far distant international trades, because if you have support from your country, if you have support with your embassies in those countries, then you go for trades safely. Trade shows, trades, and etc. Right? But if there is no such strong supporting state from your nation, kingdom from your nation, then even tradesmen don't venture out, going out. They might at the most end up as local stores. Narajake Janapade.
Narajake Janapade.
Charatyeka charah vashi.
Sorry, Charatyeka charah vashi.
Vashi. Bhavayan atmanatmanam.
Bhavayan atmanatmanam.
Yatra sayam grihe munihi.
Yatra sayam grihe manihi.
So that's why I said, right? I mean, it covers so many types of people who comprise a healthy nation. So now the next type of ones are ekacharaha vashi, those who are self-controlled, ekacharaha, those who are alone. That means they are not grahasthaha. They are sayangrahasthaha, which means whole day they are wandering. They keep walking. And by evening, whoever host their stay that evening, they are sayangraha. Sayangraha munihi. Those are munis. Such munis are called sayangraha because they stay in a home only in the evening. That means only in the night. Whoever offer them, Acha Muniji, please come stay in our home. Okay, they sleep there. They have their dinner and sleep at home. Typically, that's how, if in a healthy nation, every evening they will be offered a home. Only in an unhealthy nation, then we have to find out, अरे इनका प्रवास कहाँ करना है, वो किसका घर में रखेंगे, oh, he's not there, they are going away, this fellow is not there. No, if you have a healthy nation, healthy state, then we'll have sufficient number of people to host such pracharaks, to host such sadhus, sannyasis, artists, visiting great people from the Bharat, etc. So we will have sufficient homes. Sayangraha. Sayangraha munihi atmana atmanam bhavayan. Those who are, this is Bhagavad Gita shloka, right? Again, atmanam atmana atmanaiva tishtati. So by himself, in himself, feeling himself, such munis who are vashihi, ekacharaha, they go by themselves. They don't have gangs, or they don't have, sorry, not gang, but they don't have big followers and all, like ashrama Peethadipatis and all. They are just munis by themselves only, single people. They just go, they're wanderers. They go from place to place. If somebody finds them interesting and asks them question, then they teach them. If nobody asks, they don't care. If anybody offer food, they accept it as prasadam. If anybody gives them shelter for that night, then they sleep there. Sayangraha munihi na charati. They don't move, they don't wander anymore, because they know state is not healthy. Narajake janapade yogakshemam pravartate.
Narajake janapade yogakshemam pravartate.
Nachapyarajake sena
Nachapya rajake sena
shatrun vishahate yudhi.
shatrun vishahate yudhi.
36. I know there are 13 more shlokas. We cannot cover them. We'll try to stop somewhere. The next one is Narajake Janapade Yogakshemam Pravartate. It won't exist. It won't be achieved. What? Yogakshemam. Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, says Bhagavan. But in Arajakam, Yogakshemam na Pravartate. Yogakshemam cannot be established. And what is Yogakshemam? The Vyakhyanam says, Alabdhasya labhaha yogaha. Whatever you have not gotten yet, but you deserve, obtaining it is yogaha. You deserve salary, salary is given in time. You deserve good food, healthy food. If healthy food is cooked and presented to you, and all those things, whatever we deserve, whatever we need is provided, is obtained, is called yoga. Labdhasya palanam parirakshanam kshemam, he says. And whatever is obtained is maintained, and protection and maintenance of whatever is obtained is kshemaha. Whatever needs to be obtained, obtaining it is yoga. Yoga kshemam. Both of these, whatever you need to be given, you get it, and whatever you have obtained is protected. These two are called yoga kshemam. Arajake janapade yoga kshemam na pravartate. Nacha api arajake senaha shatrun yudhi vishahate. Not only that, if you don't have a strong king who is checking, who is strategizing, making strategies of war, etc., then Sena, even army, Shatrun Yudhi na Vishahate. They will not be able to win the enemies in war. Army also will lose wars. Narajake Janapade.
Rajake janpade
Hrishtaihi paramavajibhihi
harshte paramavajibhihi
naraha samyanti sahasa
naraha samyanti sahasa
rathaischa parimanditaha.
rathescha parimanditaha.
So, in a happy, healthy situation, hrishtaihi paramavajibhihi naraha rathaischa parimanditaha na sahasa samyanti. If normally it's a healthy, rich state, then you will see people enjoying on long drives in a beautiful cars, etc. Not only romantic guys, even otherwise also, people will go in rich cars. You will see a lot more Teslas. And they say, right, in the dot-com buster in 2000s, that time, all these new cars, several new cars ended up in airports because people would leave them in airport and fly away, leave the country. And homes were foreclosed. Several homes were foreclosed. So that is the state of a Arajakam. But in a Rajakam state, then you will see Teslas everywhere, people driving Teslas, Infinities, all these high end brand, high brand vehicles, etc. So Naraha Paramavajibhihi, of the best horses, Rathaischa, with the best horses, chariots. You won't see people, Parimanditaha, that too, well decorated, with rich golden plating, with lot of garlands, etc., jewelry, pearl garlands, etc. You won't see all of those well decorated ones. Well decorated horses, well decorated chariots, and people riding such tours on these chariots. You won't see them. Narajake Janapade, Naraha Sahasa, that too instantly. Suddenly they get moved, they can go out. They don't have to take a visa, permission, call for a security and all. No, they can go by themselves. Sahasa, instantly. You won't see that happening in Arajake Janapade. I think 8:41, we may have to stop here. Let's remember 25th shloka we did till. We'll continue from 26th in the next one. Can anyone say the Shanti Mantra? Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu,
To
ma kasyat
Dukkha
dukkha
bhavet.
bhavet. Om
Shanti,
Shanti, Shanti,
Shanti,
Shanti. Sushachata.
Dhanyavada Maurya.
Dhanyavada.
Dhanyawada Bhogaji. Very good chapter.
Yes.
Dhanyavad.
Yeah, so enlightening today.
Yes. Very enlightening. Yeah.
Very enlightening. Okay. We'll kind of hope now next week we'll complete this.
Yes, next week we'll complete it. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dhanyawada Bhogaji.
So,
Bhogaji, one question.
yes, Shyamji.
Every shloka had Narajake Janapade,
Yeah.
but the latter part was in a positive sense. The first part was negative.
Where did you find a positive one?
I mean, the remaining description was what is desirable, right?
So what he is saying is Narajake means Arajake Janapade, the desirable thing, na. That's how we should take.
Yeah, this used to happen, but it will not happen in future.
It will not happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay.
So na is to be for the whatever happens, that will not happen. Is how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dhanyavad.
Okay, ji. Namaskar.